Cobra. All right? Some basics, not just for the Cobra in general, but specifically for foundations that I use within my Cobra, okay? Some of them are traditional, some of them are a little not traditional. So Cobra style, what is it? It is, we are imitating the movements of a Cobra. There's a lot of artistic license within it being taken, as in it's going off in very creative, interpretive, not always so literal direction of what the Cobra does. But some of the key things that are as a Cobra moves are: one, the arms are up because they're mimicking the hood. The hood isn't something that moves freely about though, so that's where we're taking artistic license. We're deciding to go applying it to a human body, and we're changing it in the process, okay? But so we have the hood, and then when you watch a Cobra, the way they move is like there's this little kind of shake that goes on. It's not like they're smooth like that or something. Like if you watch a snake moving, it's pretty smooth typically, like really smooth. A Cobra, it's perched up, and so we're not talking about a Cobra moving like that. We're talking about its head and part of its body's up, and the way it's supporting itself, it's kind of shaky. So. Okay. All right. So, with the Cobra, some basics that I like to start off with is simply doing a roll. The traditional way, I don't even know if I'm giving it justice, but the hips will move with it all. Which I will definitely often do. What I'm going to teach more of today is moving around the hips. So if you've learned from me my spiral wave, it's kind of like that, the chest part, how the chest moves around the hips. That is how I often will do my Cobra. Not all the time, but this is the one that I want to teach to you, okay? So more like this. So I'm going around as much as I can, going deep as I can. Well, this is staying still, relatively. Also, if you've taken my spiral wave lesson, you'll know that even though visually it looks like I'm not moving, it is moving in a way. It's got to move somewhat to stay still. That might sound confusing, but just what I mean by that is if I don't move this at all, then if I don't tense this area at all, then it just goes with my upper body. But if I separate it, I had to do some things to compensate. I bent that leg, at least for this right here. And this is, there's energy going that way as I'm going this way with the chest. And for that to happen, the hips go back. All right, if they don't go back, then I fall forward. So the hips go back as I do that. All right, just reverse what we did over on this side. And then as we go forward, as we go back, hips go forward. So here, they're here, and now they tuck in. You can kind of see they tuck in. So it's staying right here, but I have to tuck them in so that they stay at least relatively still. Not 100% exactly still, but pretty still, okay? So when we do that, we got, boom. Now let's assume the position, okay? Take it back, take it back. We're not assuming the position just yet. We're just going to teach this. This will be review. If you're taking the spiral wave lesson, or if you see my wave fundamentals, the way we roll around, the way we roll the chest. Okay. Hoom. 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 One leg bent, both legs straight. One leg bent, both legs bent. Okay? Hoom. 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 Okay, it's smooth now. All right, so I'm trying to stay relatively horizontal. By me doing this, I'm going a little down though too. We can exaggerate that. That's a whole different effect we're doing. You're really making it obvious that you're going up and down. Not trying to do that so much, but I am going down a little bit as I bend both knees, as I bend both legs, okay? All right. So I could go on my toes for right here. You can do it so that your heels are touching the ground still. You could exaggerate even more. Lift the heels up. All right. And we can roll this shoulder forward, roll this shoulder back. Roll this shoulder forward, roll this shoulder back. Now I'm doing the easier way for me right now, which is counterclockwise. I do spend time practicing the other way as well. Most people don't, and it can really enhance your vocabulary if you practice both ways, not just for waving, not just for Cobra, but also for waving in general, okay? You can create so many different combinations when you know how to do it this way. It's more awkward. One way is significantly more awkward than the other, and that's okay, because that's pretty much how it is with everyone. And many people have one way, and I did for years. I had one way that I did the Cobra. I just went like that, and I was like, dang, I'm getting really bored. Like, I get bored quickly, because I'm only going one direction. So when you go both, it's really cool. And I'm not just doing both ways, I'm doing all these different angles too, which maybe I'll go more for in a different Cobra video, but just to show you some of the potentials. You can go in a lot of different directions, and when you do that, then you have a whole range of movements that you can do, and you can make your Cobra look interesting for a longer period of time. Okay, so moving on, here we go. All right, now that we got the chest roll, let's assume the Cobra position, okay? Let's start from right here, okay? So shoulders come forward, arms are coming forward, hands are kind of loose, okay? You can also have it like that as well, all right? And now, go to the right, come forward, go to the left. As I do that, watch. So here, palms have been facing back. They might already start like, not just back, we'll start going down, but when we get fully forward. And then, they can kind of scoop and change now from looking behind or below to now looking closer to front. Maybe not all that way, but there. Okay, scoop and towards the front. And then back to right here when we go back, okay? So notice that, pay close attention to each part and what it looks like, because then you're gonna wanna reverse it. So here's a drill you can do with this, is practice it forward and reverse. Now let me say counterclockwise and clockwise, all right? And the way you can practice that, whoop, notice you're gonna get sore here, deltoids, and you're gonna get sore in the trapezius muscles and the upper back, which I think the trapezius muscles go into your upper back as well, okay? So you can just do one full rotation, and just feel, what is it? Sometimes you can kind of feel, what is it? It's a lack of coordination that it's difficult the other way. Or it's a lack of flexibility in the spine for some reason in one direction. Here, not as flexible as here, okay? So there's limitation here. For some reason, it's easier though for me to go counterclockwise to deal, I guess, coming from behind and then going forward. It's easier to come out of this. Coming from forward into behind, it's more difficult for me. So I really try to spend time going that direction. Sometimes it's just as simple as like, okay, I can do this for a minute, all right, do it like a few times, repeat it. Maybe I'll just do it once and then do something else. All right, but just you doing it just once, it just shows, you know, just for more range of motion. Okay, so you can practice it like that. One full rotation, one full rotation. You can also practice it like this. One element, and you just pick and choose. So we got 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 1 and 4. 1 and 4. 3 and 4. 3 and 4. Okay, you can choose whichever you want. I'm at 4. I'm going to go from 4 back to 1 to 2, and then reverse. back to 2, and back to 4. 1, 2, 1, 4, okay? First quadrant, second, first, fourth. And I'm just calling this first. You can start number it any way you want, okay? Because if you go clockwise, then to you might call this first. Hope it's not confusing. I'm getting too specific with how to label everything. But all I'm saying is I go counterclockwise, so for me, I just naturally am going to go first here. So I call this quadrant run 1, okay? But if you go that way, clockwise, maybe you want to call this quadrant 1, okay? All right, doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to go with my system now. And you can go this way and then reverse, all right? So you can just do 1 at a time for how many times feels comfortable. You can do 2 different, going through actually, I guess you say from here to there to there. So half a rotation, and then just repeat it. And then try to see how your body works with it too. So not just the chest, but really. Now I'm going to go this way. Still this half, but from here to there. So I'm calling this the third quadrant to the first. The first to the third. All right? And so you play with that, and you can really enhance your Cobra. All right? How I'm going to do this, I want to show you an example of just playing with that alone, okay? Freestyling with just that alone. And you can make it mechanical by choosing where to stop. You can see probably that my arms are not nearly as good. At least they don't feel that as good. Maybe it looks better than I think. But does it feel 1/2 as good going this way? It just doesn't. I don't have as much fun. But it's okay. Because if I do it, if I'm able to do both, I'll have more fun overall. That's the way I look at it. Got to go through the suffering. And the suffering is going the direction that you're not as good at. Okay? All right. Now, changing the angles. And what I mean by that is just simply, angle is changed. And I can stay now at this angle. I could also decide to change that too, as I may. But right now, let's just make it mechanical. And I just move as far as I want along, and then just change the angle. Right now, I just went to the side. Now, I can play with that angle. Now, I'm going to change the angle again. And let's just say I'm just staying at that angle. So as opposed to here, I'm just here. All right, I'm staying like that. Change the angle. Okay, now let's change the angle as I roll. Because first it was just move, change the angle, move. Whether you stay in place and move your feet, that's fine. Now it's change the angle as I roll the chest, okay? But we can also make that mechanical too, to simplify it and make it more understandable even, and just because it looks good. Okay, what I mean by that is each point or quadrant is a different way to face, okay? Boom, boom, ha, ha. All right, so how do we face? At what point? All right? So let's actually not worry about the arms. Here, 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 here. I'm going down. You can also go back or down, 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 okay? Right now, I'm gonna do down, okay? And that really gets you to change and go in all these other sorts of directions, face all these different angles, okay? Make it interesting. All right, maybe I turn a little bit, 45 degrees. And this is totally like reviewed with how I taught the waving fundamentals. It's just there, there, there. All right. So I'm just repeating that, and that's how I use this in my Cobra. Okay. So 45 degrees this way, 45 degrees that way, all right? And now it stays looking up 45 degrees, but I go to quadrant 2. Now I'm going to go to quadrant 3, and I start caving in. So not just that. You can kind of see like it just barely, I mean it's almost the same. It's almost just as twisting, but there's a little bit, I'm starting to go down a little bit. And I can even feel like I compensated with my heel rising. It made it easier. The heel rises, the hip lifts up on the right side, and then it allows me to start caving in already, a little bit. So you could do this if you want, and then just go all the way from 3 to 4, changing the angle of your chest. Or you could start changing the angle of your chest right now. Just a little. I'd say maybe it's like looking straight ahead now. Then we're looking down, okay? 45 up, stay 45. Start going down, maybe to center, and then down. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Okay? And there you have that, changing angles. One was just simply finishing, stopping at one of the points. You can stop wherever you want, but I'm going to keep it simple and stop at one of the quadrants, okay? Stopping at one of the quadrants, changing your angle somehow. Okay, now we do Cobra based upon that angle. Change the angle. Do the Cobra based upon that angle. Change that angle, okay? Then changing the angle as we roll. Boom, boom, boom. So then maybe as I can then stop, change the angle mechanically, start rolling again. Rolling while changing the angle simultaneously, and then just changing the angle mechanically, not rolling. Does that make sense? I'm making it complicated. I want to explain that in a little more detail. So we got changing the angle while rolling, that. And then we got just changing the angle, and it's like the Cobra took a break for a second, or like the rolling of the Cobra took a break for a second. Now let's get back into it. Okay? All right, hopefully that made sense. So there's two ways, just to repeat. Changing your angles while rolling, and then just changing your angles in between rolls, okay? Last one, twisting. I'm gonna do a little routine. Just a simple 8 count, just to show you how I change angles and use this foundation. All right, here we go. 1, so we start normal, and all of a sudden, so we're not in Cobra yet, and all of a sudden, whoo, turn into a Cobra. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Okay, now I change angles. I'm going to change it here, and now I'm going to start doing, it's like mechanical roll, so I'm going to start doing some Cobra. This one's kind of just, I'm just doing something that's a little more mechanical, not straight up Cobra. But then this, by me changing, getting that chest out, scooping that arm back, it's now like doing the Cobra movement. It's kind of mechanical though. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just bending over, keep my legs in position. 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. I pivot my feet, all right? I haven't gone over pivots or traveling. That can take a while, and I would like to not saturate you with too much. That'll be in another Cobra video someday in the future. Okay, but here's how I pivot, all right? 5, 6, 7, 8. So just doing this. Not too complex, all right? So not traveling, still same place, just moving around some, okay? 5, 6, 7. So I lift up my feet. 7 and 8. All right? Bent straight. All right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and I'm kind of going, I'm not going like down, but I'm going back to, chest is looking that way. It's in, it's back, but it's looking that way. Not there, because I could do that too, that's fine. And it's looking more up or 45 that way. But I'm gonna make it easier, still looks good. Straight ahead, okay? One more time. 2 feet, 5, 6, 7, 8, wait. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, and that is some Cobra freestyle right there. Adding some animation, using different parts. You can isolate the hips, teach more of that. Another day, teach Cobra for hours. But those are some good basics. And just getting those good by itself is already gets you at a nice level of the Cobra anyway. The perfecting those takes forever, and I still have yet to. I still have plenty of journey to go on as well with my Cobra. But yeah, some other day whenever I teach Cobra, there's ways we can travel. There's ways we can animate with it. Boom, cool. Oh shit, I don't want you knowing I listen to pop music like this. Hold on. All right, never happened, okay? Never happened. All right, so there we go. Thanks for watching. Cobra